How is it going, everyone? It's K Limited here, and today we're going to be talking about a game I wasn't sure I was actually going to talk about, but I was talked into it, and I think it's a good idea to make this video. Even though my thoughts on this game are kind of negative, I feel like this is a good video to make to kind of warn people that this game may not be worth the full retail price. So let's talk about Crash Team Rumble, a game that right out of the box had a very confusing marketing marketing idea. No one knew what this game was. That's what I'm trying to say. When this game was announced, I thought it was a Super Smash Bros. Like clone. That's what I thought it was. And everyone else I talked to also thought, oh, it's a Super Smash Bros. Style Crash Bandicoot game, which sounds awesome, honestly. That would have been amazing, especially if it had couch co-op and if it had an offline mode and everything like that. Unfortunately, that's not what this is. This has no even like resemblance to Super Smash Bros. Whatsoever. This is basically a MOBA, a Crash Bandicoot MOBA, and I don't know who necessarily thought that this was a good idea, that Crash Bandicoot was the franchise that needed to be turned into a online-only game, but whoever did, why would you do that? I guess that's my first question. To be fair, I put almost 12 hours into this game. I had off and on fun with it. Sometimes it's fun, sometimes it's just plain old aggravating. And that's because there's a lot of problems with the balancing in this game. When you are making a MOBA, you really need to have the characters balanced well, because introducing even one new character can throw off everything. And I've seen this in other MOBAs such as Smite. I remember when they brought in, I can't remember the name of the guy off the top of my head. I think he was, Chernobog, I think was his name. I remember when they introduced him, and it broke literally the entire game. and a lot of people I know literally stopped playing when they added that character because the game was so broken at that moment, because it was so unbalanced. And apparently this is also a problem with this game. When they added Ripperoo, there was a problem with balancing. And honestly, there's problems with balancing in general, even before Ripperoo was added, because of the fact that I feel like if you have two blockers on your team, you can dominate the entire field easily, especially because blockers are so hard to take down. They have way too much health. They have way too many abilities to keep you from getting a goal. It's one thing to be able to block. It's another thing to kill you over and over and over again, and you can't score any points because they're just sitting there in your goal and you can't do anything. Like, that is annoying. So there's balancing issues right off the bat. There's the whole confusing marketing campaign that was around this game. No one knew what this game was. Everyone thought it was going to be some sort of Super Smash Bros. Clone, and it wasn't. Instead, it's this confusing MOBA that is online only. There's no offline mode. You have to play this online, which is just bonkers to me. It has battle passes. Again, why does this have a battle pass? Crash Bandicoot is not the series that needs that. None of this game is something that just feels wrong. It doesn't feel like it should exist. It feels like if you ordered, like, mac and cheese, and you were just like, I'm gonna put chocolate pudding on top of it. That's what this game feels like. It's a bunch of good things, but mixed together, it's horrible. That's what this is. So I don't know what they were thinking. Honestly, I wish I could say good things about this game. I wish I could say more good things about this game. There are good things about this game. It does look good. I like the character designs. I didn't play Crash 4, so I'm not familiar with some of these characters, but I do like the character designs. The maps that are there, I think, are pretty good. I think that there should be more. There's definitely not enough, because I got tired of playing the same old maps over and over and over again. That was definitely a problem I ran into. I do like the kind of aspect of collecting all the Wumpa fruit and doing this platforming and everything, and basically having your team all work together. If your team is not working together, then you are not going to do well in this. So I like the idea of having all this teamwork going on, and I like this idea of collecting the Wumpa fruit and putting them into your goal. I like the platforming that's here. I like that stuff, but it's not implemented well. There's too many things distracting from just that basic element that throw this game off. The unbalanced characters, the just confusing idea of not having any sort of offline mode, the season pass, or not the season pass, I'm sorry, the battle pass, and just also leveling up each character individually, which is just super grindy. This game is so grindy. It is probably the most grindy game I've ever played, and that's saying something. 12 hours in, and like the battle pass, I think I was on like level, I want to say 30 something of the battle pass. That's ridiculous. That should have 12 hours in and only that far into the battle pass is kind of ridiculous in my opinion. I played other games where I've been 12 hours in, and in the battle pass I'm already like halfway done with it. Like, I don't know. I feel like that's a little bit too slow for a battle pass, especially when this game is so repetitive, because it really is just the same thing over and over and over again. It just doesn't have enough content here to justify the price tag, and that's the other thing that kills this game. If this game was free to play, I wouldn't complain, because at that point it's just like, okay, whatever. You know, it's free to play. You know, there's lots of free to play games that are better than this that are the same style. Smite is a free to play MOBA. Why would you play this when Smite is available? There's no competition there. Smite is 100 times better than this game could ever dream about being. And you could say, well, it's not here to compete with Smite. But who is this game for? Because I'm a Crash Bandicoot fan, but this isn't what I was wanting from the Crash franchise. I wasn't wanting an online-only experience. I was wanting maybe something that I could play offline in a couch co-op environment, or, you know, in a couch versus environment, some sort of couch multiplayer. Instead, I have an online-only game that has no offline mode that is very unbalanced and just frustrating to play. So, overall, I don't like making negative videos, by the way. I don't like doing this. But I just have to be honest with this game. Like, I put 12 hours into it. I'm going to talk about it now because I put 12 hours into it, and I spent $40, almost $40 on this game, and it was not worth $40. This game is not worth, in my opinion, $20. If you see it on sale for $20, it's still not worth it. This game would have to be $10 or under for me to actually say, okay, go ahead and try it for that price. Because it is just such a frustrating mess. It is such a aggravating experience, and it just feels like it should be a free-to-play game. If they made it free-to-play and you had to pay for the Battle Pass separately, I would be all for it. But the fact that you have to pay for this game that is super unbalanced and everything, like, it's just not worth it. It's not worth paying $40 for this online-only Crash Bandicoot game that just does not have enough content to justify that $40 price tag. Again, they could have this online-only game if they just had more content, but it's the same fights over and over again. It's the same game mode. There's only really the one game mode. There's nothing else. Like, add some variety. Add some different game modes. Add, like, I don't know, capture the Wumpa or something like that. You know, in terms of, like, have it like Oddball, how, like, in Halo you hold the skull for, you know, a certain amount of time, and then if someone hits you or kills you, they take the skull and they hold it, and whoever holds the skull the longest, like, wins. Have something like that, but for, like, a giant Wumpa fruit. Like, it's so mind-boggling that they had this little content in this game and tried to charge as much as they did for it. So, yeah. I definitely don't recommend this game. I'm sorry this video is so negative. Like I said, I don't like doing this, but I wanted to put my opinion out there because, like I said, I spent 12 hours on this game. I spent over $35 to pick this game up. I wanted to give everyone a fair warning and tell you, I don't personally think that it's worth that price. As someone who is a Crash Bandicoot fan from the old days, you know, I love the old Crash Bandicoot games. I thought the Insane Trilogy was also good, and I liked even the Crash Nitro Kart. I think Crash Nitro Kart's really good because it has so much content in it. Pick up one of the older Crash games instead. Pick up Crash, you know, Nitro Kart instead. Pick up something like that. Pick up anything but this. Go play Smite instead of this if you want a MOBA. This is not a good MOBA. Thank you guys for watching. I'll talk to you in the next video. You have a fantastic day. Bye-bye.